Hey guys, so today we're going to be reading from James 5, and we're going to start verses 1 through 6. So this is what it says. Come now, you rich people, weep and wail over the miseries that are coming over you. Your wealth has rotted, and your clothes are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver are corroded, and their corrosion will be a witness against you. And will eat your flesh like fire. You have stored up treasure in the last days. Look, pay with what you have withheld from the workers who mowed your fields and cried out. And the outcry of the harvesters has reached the ears of the Lord of hosts. You have lived luxuriously on the earth and have indulged yourselves. You have fatted your hearts in the day of slaughter. You have condemned and you have murdered the righteous who does not resist you. So, kind of strange passage. Kind of like, whoa, what is going on? So, whenever I am like, man, what is going on here? I go to Bible commentaries. Super helpful. Specifically, my favorite are just like study Bibles. So, ESV Study Bible, John MacArthur Study Bible is good. Those are some of my favorite things to go to when I'm confused about something. I think it's also important that you guys remember. I have to remember this when I was reading. Come now, you rich people, weep and wail. I'm like, whoa, who is he talking to? If you go back to the beginning of James, remember this is one letter. When this was written, there weren't chapters, there weren't verse numbers, and so it's really important to remember this is one letter. So I went back to the beginning of James and was like, who is he talking to? He's talking to likely a bunch of different Jewish house churches. So it talks about the 12 tribes in dispersion. So likely Jews who have Hebrews who have been dispersed among places, and they claim to be now followers of Jesus. So he's kind of coming at him. He's like, look, bro, you cannot be living this way. So that specifically to these rich people, you can't be pursuing these riches and pushing people down. So I was thinking to myself, I'm not incredibly wealthy. As I have a phone and an iPad and I have an apartment and whatever. I'm wealthier than probably a lot of people around the world. But at the same time, I don't have a lot of extra money, right? And so I'm like, well, I'm not, and I don't feel like I'm oppressing anybody. So what is this telling me? I think there's a couple things. I'm going to just focus on one thing. Towards the end, in verse 3, okay, it talks about your gold and silver have corroded. Their corrosion will be a witness against you and eat your flesh like fire. You have stored up treasure in the last days. Gets kind of crazy. The thing that it made me think about was, what treasure do I store up? Do I store up things that aren't gonna last? Do I spend my kind of like how Pastor Brad talks about my effort, my time, my money, my brain space, the things I think about often? Do I spend time on things that aren't gonna last? And is there anybody that I kind of am just I don't care who you are, I'm gonna do what I want to do. I don't care if so for you guys, thinking about man, do you push your parents away to do what you want to do? Do you almost oppress in a sense, your siblings, whether they're younger, older, whatever? Do you push people away? Have you done that with friends? Who are the people you're pushing away to get what you want to get, in a selfish way? And I think this is saying, like, look, that stuff's not going to last. So stop it. Pursue the things that are going to last. So I just want to encourage you guys, think about, like, man, what are the things I'm storing up? And do I push, who am I pushing away in order to get what I want? I need to stop that and turn to Jesus. Start moving towards people, moving towards my parents, moving towards my siblings, my friends, and pursuing the things that God says is going to last. And yeah, so I hope that's helpful. Remember, if there are things that are confusing, there's always answers. It's just maybe it takes a little bit, somebody who studied it a little bit more, like the people who write these study Bibles. So think about that. Love you guys, and talk to you later.